If you want to get the top odds every time, bet with TopSport's Same Game Multi. TopSport. Feel the excitement. Gamble responsibly.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Same Game Multi Podcast. Thank you once again for tuning in. Round one is upon us and we are super excited here at the Same Game Multi Podcast. Cannot wait. It's been a long off season. And to join me to go over all the games, as always, are the usual suspects, Jared J. Rob Burton, the Burtman.
Boys.
And Mr. Matthew Mark Cherry. How are you, gentlemen?
Mate, I am pumped getting ready for tomorrow night's game. It's going to be absolutely sensational to watch some proper footy again.
Yeah, chewing at the bit here, boys. I'm keen.
As good as the cricket is, it doesn't sort of replace the footy, does it?
No way.
Haven't quite been sleeping that well. Not sure it's because work's been busy and the stress from that, all the excitement coming up for this weekend.
Or the fact you're a Roosters supporter.
Could be it too, mate. You never know.
Mate, might have to have one of those little self-imposed sleeping pills.
Oh, I could do. Yeah.
Boys, super excited today. Big show as always. For those of you that are new to the show, what we'll do, we'll preview each and every game every week, and we'll go through and see if we can find a bit of value in the betting market and give you our tips for a same game multi as well. But the other reason I'm super excited, boys, is for our special guest. He's dialed in all the way up there from the Gold Coast. He's the man, the myth, the legend himself. He gets plenty of mentions here on the show, and we're very happy that he is joining us today, and that's the CEO of TopSport, Tristan Merlehan. Welcome to the show, Tristan.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good to chat to you guys. I've been very excited to be and very proud to be partnered with you guys over the back end of last year, and we're looking forward to a big footy season. I'm just excited, and I had no trouble sleeping over the last couple of days. I just switched on the Test cricket over there in Pakistan, and that put you to sleep straight away. So, but yeah, it's great to have footy back, and yeah, we've got a couple of good games to start off the season too. Yeah,
some cracking games. So, I was just going to ask you how excited you are for the footy season, mate. The boys must be pretty excited and a bit of a buzz around the office up there.
Yeah, there is. The crew have gone to massive extents to get as many markets up as possible in the lead into the season. So obviously the season's only 24 hours away now, but there's still time to get on a few of those future bets that we've released a number of innovative things. We've got ladder positions which have never been done before. We've got a stack of season multis that people have requested in. We've got season wins. We've got team top try scorers. And one of our markets that always gets a lot of popular appeal is the handicap or the regular season handicap. So all of those markets are available on the site, but now we're getting into the real thing with round one on our doorstep. And I know you guys are obviously big same game multi fans. We've just put a couple of extra same game multi options up today that to score 2 and 3 tries are now available, which weren't there last year. We're going to continue to grow out more and more markets. So that's something I'll put to you and to your listeners, that if there's any markets that we're missing out of the same game multi, now we only launched this last year, but if there's anything else you'd like us to add in there, just send the request through and we'll get the boys onto loading more and more of that offering up throughout the course of the season.
Fantastic, mate. That sounds great. I know Cherry loves a little hat-trick try scorer in his multi, so...
Certainly do.
Mate, we will get to a few of those future bets in a minute, but I just wanted to pick your brain. Big game coming up to open the season with Penrith versus Manly. What's happened to the market, mate, with Cleary being out for 3 weeks? Has that affected this game and also their season odds at all?
Yeah, it was an interesting one because I think it didn't come as a complete shock to anyone. I don't think that Cleary was out for this game. I think there was always some element of doubt around it. But the way the market's moved, it's gone so far on something that I thought was somewhat factored in. So I don't know where the error was, whether it was too high to begin with or whether it's overreacted now. But at the moment, we've got the Seagulls have been back from $2.60 into $1.82. Penrith's now $2 underdogs and 1.5 the line. I think part of the move throughout the course of the off-season has been opposing Penrith in a number of markets. They're $5.50 to win the premiership to go back-to-back. We opened them equal favourite with the Storm, but the Storm are now a clear favourite. The Roosters are now coming to equal second pick with the Panthers, and a couple of those markets we touched on, the ladder positions and the season wins. Punters haven't been as aggressively backing the overs like they have been on a number of those other top teams, like the Storm, for example, was 17.5, and we're into $1.77 the overs, 2.05 the unders, where the Panthers line stayed about steady.
Yeah, right. That's a big swing. for the head-to-head. Have you seen anything like that before with just one player being ruled out?
Oh, yeah, you do get a move. Like, for example, the other game that's moved quite heavily on the back of Adam Reynolds withdrawing is the South Broncos game. So that one's moved in a similar sort of extent. The Broncos were $2.50. They're now $3.65, where the Bunnies have gone from $1.55 into $1.29. So these key players do move. Tommy Trbojevic is the biggest mover and shaker in the game. If he's out, it'll move sort of up to 10 points. I guess the big thing for people out there that see on a team list and there's no Cleary. The understanding of how markets move depend on whether the player was in doubt or whether it's a complete surprise. If someone's a complete surprise, and that's when the markets move so much more than if there is that bit of uncertainty, because you sort of have to half price them in and half price them out when you're framing those odds originally. When someone's a complete shock, like the Adam Reynolds situation, there was ever any thought that he wasn't going to play until he got that positive COVID report. That obviously moved a lot harder than if he had been carrying a niggling knee injury throughout the course of the week.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that as well with Adam Reynolds, whether that had shifted that market as well. So bit of movement with that one. Mate, also a big game on Sunday with the Eels up against the Titans. Where's the money been going on that one? Obviously, you're the official wagering partner of the Titans, and congratulations on that. Is there a bit of money favoured for the Titans, or is it all going the Eels' way?
Yeah, we're very proud to be associated with the Titans this year. They're, they're club on the up. We're obviously a local business here on the Gold Coast. So, yeah, excited to be locked in there for a number of years. So hopefully they can continue their upward trajectory. I think for them, it's going to be interesting how these young kids go in the halves and fullback. Obviously, Jaden Campbell, Brimson going to 5'8", and Toby Sexton still early in his career. So I would sort of expect them to improve as the year goes on. And as a result, there has been a bit of a push for the Eels. The Eels obviously had that very dominant win against the Panthers in their trial there, which saw the line move from a flat 6 to 8.5. So the Eels have gone from $1.50 to $1.39. The Titans $3, and the line's now 8.5. So one-way traffic for the Eels, but I get the feeling the Titans might be a little bit of value in that game.
I know one man that won't be putting any money on, and that's the man to my right, Mr. Burton. He's a diehard Parramatta supporter.
Oh, mate, we'll see how we go. Anyway, Tristo, mate, you're staying dry up there, mate, or what? Up on the GC?
We are now. It was a bit wet last week and the week before, so the weather started to come good. But one of our offices is down at Moolumbar, which obviously was very rain affected, and the floods went through there. So unfortunately, that office, it's gone. But there's a lot of other people down there with houses that have all their cars have turned over, and they've had to leave the housing. So it was a really scary time up here on the Gold Coast. But it seems to have come good. It went down to Sydney, and hopefully we're all over the worst of it. But yeah, it's never fun when you see all of that sort of stuff happening to people, and you see lives lost on the back of a natural disaster. No,
definitely not, mate. Mate, I've got a question here too. Now, my tip of the year so far is probably going to be the Roosters to win the comp at 550, mate. Tell me, if they were to win their first 5 games, they're on the second line of betting. Do you reckon there's a chance of them moving into favouritism in the comp?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the Roosters, everyone's, they were so impressive and so gutsy the back end of last year with so many players out, and they're obviously factored in that if they can keep their team on the park, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. So if they get on a run early, it'll solidify those thoughts that a lot of people have. I think it would be dependent on how Melbourne go as well, and Penrith. There's 3 teams up there at the top of betting. So if the Roosters were 4 or 5-0, and Melbourne and Penrith dropped a couple of games to begin with, then yeah, the Roosters would certainly get into favourite. But it all depends on all the teams. If Manly started the season well, they'd firm. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight season. I feel that there's going to be a pretty even race up the top between those top 4 teams, and if another team comes out of the mix. But yeah, certainly the Roosters are a big chance of firming into favourites, even after a couple of weeks if they're impressive, and Penrith or Melbourne drop a game, particularly as Munster's not in at the moment and Cleary's out. So there is a bit of momentum to be found by the Roosters.
Yeah, get those early runs on the board, mate. Anything's possible, isn't it?
Might just do a quick swing down the bottom. The ladder, Tristan. Who's your sort of money favourite for the wooden spoon for this year? Us boys all think it's going to be sort of between the Tigers and Cowboys. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, our traders think the same. They've got both teams at $3.50 to win the spoon. So, they are the favourite options. I think they're probably both going to struggle. I think the Tigers maybe can avoid it, and I think they can maybe go a little bit better than what the market suggests. But I sort of, whenever I'm looking at a market, I'm looking for a little bit of value, and I just feel there's a team there in the Warriors and the Knights that if they lose a couple of games early, and the Knights in particular, if they drop a few games and then Kalen Ponga goes down, I think it could be a very, very long season for them. And I would rather be on them at $10 and the Warriors at $7 if I was having a bet. That doesn't discount that I think the two favourites in the betting are probably the most likely.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there with the Knights. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Ponga to perform without Pearce. And if he does get injured or, gets a bit of a COVID spur and gets a bit sick or something for 1 or 2 weeks, they're really going to struggle. Yeah,
I think so. And there's been obviously a very disruptive off-season. No Mitch Pearce there as well, which is going to hurt. And they've lost a few other players as well. So, but they're a pretty strong team as well. If they can put a few wins together, they'll stabilise things. But yeah, it's a really interesting leaderboard down the bottom there, because a lot of the sides down the bottom have signed well. Like the Bulldogs obviously struggled last year, and they've recruited reasonably well. The Dragons recruited reasonably well too. So it'll be interesting how it all plays out.
Very good, mate. Now, top try scorer, always a fun market. I love this one. Who's leading the pack, and is there a little smoky where there's a bit of good money going?
Yeah, this is always a really interesting market. The top try scorer at the moment sees Tommy Trbojevic at $8, Alex Johnson at $9, and Xavier Coates at $9 as well. So Xavier Coates been well back. Jason Saab as well at $10. Obviously, he went very, very well in the last year, so you'd expect him to perform well. I look at a couple of the Sharks players, and I think they're going to have a strong season. And all three of the favoured Sharks players at 40-1. You got Ikavalu, Mutialo, and Katoa are both at $41.
Don't get me to spell that, mate.
I've had a shocker with him, but yes, I actually like both Ikavalu and Katoa. I just think the fact that they've been named as the wingers, and I think there's going to be a really impressive Sharks outfit that's rolled out over the course of the year. I think they're going to score a few points. So I'd be having a little spec on either of those couple of players at the $41, and you might be able to get a little bit of value and then make a book around them as we get close to the end of the season.
I think with Craig Fitzgibbon there too, they might have a bit more of a different playing strategy as well, kicking off the year.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think the leadership, Finucane, McInnes, these sort of players are going to be big for them. And I think it'll really help Matty Moylan. I think if he's playing at a high level, it gives them the opportunity to score points. And it'll be interesting. But yeah, like in any of these markets, it's such an open field. You always want to try to find a little bit of value. Look for some players that might just be overpriced. Doesn't necessarily mean, when you're having a bet, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to win every time they go around. But it's trying to find something where if you look at these blokes, are they going to top score more than 1 in 40? And I think they probably will.
Mate, you talk about a bit of value. I went hunting for the Fox. He's down there at $41. Obviously, the switch to the Bulldogs, the punters aren't having much of that, thinking he's going to be the top try scorer.
Yeah, well, I think in the Bulldogs' point of view, we've got markets up for the individual teams. So he's $1.65 to score the most tries for the Bulldogs. So he's very, very short, and as a result, he's 40-1 in that market. Matt Duffy, $4.20, but the third favourite in the Bulldogs' top try scorer markets is no tries for the season. So I think there's a lot of there's not much confidence coming out of Bulldogs camp.
Very good. Just a couple more, mate, before we let you go. The top point scorer, obviously Garrick scored 334 points last year. I'm guessing he's the favourite again this year to take that top point scorer gig out.
Yeah, he is. He's $2.60 favourite. Ryan Pappenhausen, $5. Nathan Cleary, $5.50, and Latrell at $6.50. So they're all the players that are right up the top of the market. You look at a few rougher players like Nico Hines at 31, Reece Walsh down there at 34, but you probably feel that it's going to come out of that top group. Ruben Garrick, if he can stay fit, and Tommy Turbo can do his thing. You think there's going to be plenty of points on the offering? Yeah,
definitely. The thing I like about Garrick is he's unlikely to pay Origin, where those other three you mentioned, Papsmere, Cleary and Latrell, they'll all play Origin, so and a few of them injured and suspended for the start of the season isn't going to help their cause either. So that's where my money be going, boys. Garrick, $2.60.
Yeah, mate, especially having Turbo for hopefully for the full season too. Yeah. So they'll be getting a lot more tries for the first half of the comp compared to last year.
Exactly right.
So he'll be slotting over the black dot a lot more regularly in the first sort of 12 rounds, 14 rounds.
100%. Mate, just before we do let you go, just want to touch base on some of those markets you spoke about at the start of our call. There's a few in there. You got hundreds of markets up for the NRL, which is just amazing. I love it. Can spend hours scrolling through and trying to find some value there. Can you just give the listeners a rundown about the try matchups? That's the one I found I really like. It's like a battle, like a versus.
Yeah, so we have try matchups where we have them. Now, the best thing to do when you bring up the website, familiarise yourself with it when you've got plenty of time. Jump on there and have a look because they're all set up in logical areas. It's something that once you get your head around it, you understand where they all sit. But yeah, we have matchups where we verse the fullback against the fullback, the winger against the winger, the 5'8" against the 5'8", and it's got both players to win the matchup or the tie. So I'm looking at the game on Thursday night. You've got Charlie Staines there at 3.05, Ruben Garrick at 3.05, and tie, which either 0-all, 1-all, 2-all, is $2.12. So we have that available for everyone in the back line. We not only have it for the match, we have it for the first half and the second half. So there's plenty of options. You know, if you think someone's going to start well, or someone might be able to pick a hole apart in the second half of the match, then you've got the opportunity to bet. And one of the other markets, which is actually unique, and it's the first time we got them out, and it's something that I think punters will be really excited about because it's tied into the fantasy Supercoach style football. So we've released under our player performance section, which is in the bottom little category on the NRL markets. Just brought it out for the first game to test the waters first, but we've got over and under points markets for a number of players. We've got Tommy Turbo at 42.5, where he gets 1 point for every tackle, 4 points per point scored, and 10 points per try assist, 5 points for a line break, and 1 point for every 10 metres run. So these are available for all of the top tier players. And yeah, if you like your fantasy, it sort of aligns somewhere like that, but based off the NRL official stats.
I like the sound of that. That's good.
100%. Couldn't stop nodding my head there.
Birdo's smiling like a Cheshire cat here at the moment, so he's loving all that. Mate, a few other ones there you mentioned before, the ladder position market, so you can pick whether the team will finish under or above a certain position. Love that one. Season wins, over or under a certain amount of wins as well for your team. And you mentioned before about the Fox, you can pick a club's top try scorer. Tell you what, boys, Manly be hard to pick with Turbo, Saab and Garrick all in there as well. You've also got a market for the Dolphins up next year, mate. You're getting ahead of time there, or you just like to get in nice and early?
Yeah, we thought we'd, there's a lot of talk being up here in Queensland about the Dolphins. So we've got three markets available for next year where we've got the Dolphins finishing position for their fans. It doesn't look great. They're $3.50 to run last next year. They're $4.20 to make the 8, $12 to make the top 4. If you think they can go the whole way and win the comp, they're $41. And we've also got a market, which is an innovative one the guys came up with, and it's something we're going to have to be mindful of the form dips and those sort of things. But we've got a market for them to finish above certain sides. So you can have a head-to-head match up against any side in the comp, and you can back the Dolphins to finish above them. So, for example, if you think they can beat the Cowboys home next year, you can take $2 about the Dolphins to do that. And we've also got the top Queensland side for next year, where the Titans are $2.40 favourite, the Broncos $2.60, the Cows are $5, and the Dolphins at $7.50.
Fantastic, mate. I just love some of the ideas that the team's coming up with there. Some stuff I've never seen before personally. I don't know whether you boys have, and it's probably new to the whole market. So I think the punters need to get on there and really have a little explore around and see the other markets. Just on the Dolphins, mate, is there any chance of framing up a market of the over-under the average age of players, maybe 30.5 or something like that? Old Wayne's recruiting a few of the old heads up there.
He is. I think if we went up 30.5, the overs might be a bit shorter. I think he is certainly going for experience, isn't he? One of you boys might be able to get pulled out of retirement and have a run, I think.
Hey, mate, I'm only 27.
I was going up a look.
Yeah, well, hairline as well. So
You'll be in the juniors, Birdo.
Yeah, I will be.
Very good. Thanks, Tristan. We do appreciate you coming on the show. If you haven't already, head on over to topsport.com.au, download the app or the mobile version, and have a look at all those great markets that we spoke about today. And, of course, use the code SGM Podcast when you do sign up. And, as always, gamble responsibly. Thanks again for joining us, mate.
No, thanks, boys. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, enjoy the footy season, everyone. It's a great time of the year, and jump on the site, have a look, and if there's any suggestions, anything we can do differently, feel free to fire them through.
Cheers, mate. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks.
Thanks, mate. Bye. Fantastic. Great to have Tristan on the show. As I mentioned, CEO of TopSport. Head on over to topsport.com.au. Use the code SGM Podcast. Let him know you heard him on our show. You love our show and you want to support a great business. Some great markets there, boys.
Oh, 100%. I was almost going to say, but I don't want to say because he might change the odds before I get a chance to get on it. But I tell you what, I don't mind having something sitting in my bet slip for 12 months, but I'm going to tell you now that money for jam, $2. Sorry, mate. You finished?
Shaking.
$2 for the Dolphins to finish higher than the Cowboys. That's money for jam.
You reckon?
100%.
Money?
Yeah. Well, unless they're going to sign, unless Cameron Smith or someone like that's going to go up there next year, mate, I can't see that side improving in the next 2 or 3 years, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right. Very good. All right, we might take a break. We'll come back and we'll have a look at all the games coming up this weekend. So make sure you stick around.
Another half win. From punters jumping in early or waiting too late. You get a good price on one leg, but the others have shortened dramatically. You still win, but it feels like you half win. Introducing TopSport's Best of the Best Multi. Get top odds on every leg, every time. Don't be one of these. Just bet and forget Bob Multi. TopSport. Feel the excitement.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking around. Great to have Tristan on the show. Hopefully we can get him on maybe every month or so and just give us a little market update and see what's happening there as well, but some great markets on offer. Let's jump straight into the games. Got plenty to get through. Can't wait for the season kick-off. Thursday night, which is tomorrow night from when we're recording. Boys, we've got Penrith up against Manly to kick off the season. 8:05. This one's being played out at Penrith. Boys, as Tristan just said, Penrith were the favourites about this time last week. That's obviously swung around. Penrith are now $2 outsiders and Manly are $1.80 favourites. And for the line, they're $1.90 each there and plus 1.5 or minus 1.5 on the line. Bit of a swing in the market, boys. How do you see this one playing out? Will the Cleary injury and for the next 3 weeks affect their start of their season, or do you think they can cover it?
Yeah, we just wind the clock back to middle of last year, Origin time. I think it was game 1. Panthers lost without Cleary. And I think that's when he done his shoulder, I think, from memory.
Yeah, it was.
Had a bit of a twinge, didn't play the following week. From memory, they played someone like the West Tigers and got fucking bashed. And I was listening to the radio commentary thing on the way home from work. I caught the end of it, and one of the players was in there, and he said if they had listened to the coach, listened to Ivan's game plan, they would have won the game. They went out and done their own thing.
I remember that, yeah.
So hopefully this time, for the next 3 weeks, they listen to Ivan, dig in and have a bit of a go. I think they're still going to struggle a lot, though. I think Manly's going to be looking for a really good year. My money's on Manly for this week.
Yeah, well, see, I got asked that same question this morning, and I had a look at the sides and everything like that. Apart from, I understand that's a big miss. The only thing I think that they will struggle with, I still see this as relatively close. The only thing I think they will struggle with is a kicking game. Now, realistically, a real good 7, or for example, a real good kicker can turn a good set into a fabulous set.
Yeah, or a poor set into a good set.
Poor set into a good set. But then having said that, you can turn a really good set into a fucking dog shit set by kicking one dead, for example. If you grab one in goal and turn it into a 7-tackle set. Yeah. I think that's what they'll miss. But when I was going through the team lists, I think they're fairly... So I think the back line of Manly is where it's going to be won. I can't split the forwards. Both forward packs are really strong. But if I was going to put my footy tips on, I'm going to have to go Manly.
Yeah, boys, I've done the same. Now, loyal viewers of the show will know last year we each gave a multi on each game. We've changed up a little bit this year, and what we've done is we're just going to give one multi per game. So myself, I'm going to give the first 3, Chez is going to jump on the next, and then Birdo's going to bring up the rear as he usually does with the last 2. But boys, I've got the same too. I've got Manly 1-12. I think they'll win, but it'll be tight. Toto, anytime try scorer, and Saab, anytime try scorer as well. So just the wingers. Little 3-legger to kick us off, boys. Now, that one's paying $11.53. Now, I will state all these multis that we read out are going to be our charity bets moving forward. So some great charities will be getting that money at the end of the season. So hopefully we can get a few of these up. But Toto anytime, Saab anytime, and Manly 1-12, boys, is what I've got. $11.53.
That's good odds too.
Yeah, I like that. So we're all picking Manly in that one.
All Manly.
Yeah.
Can't wait to be a cracking game.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I am pumped.
Just hope it's not piss and rain.
Yeah, I'll check the weather. Meant to be clear.
Lovely.
Hey, I'm at the point where I don't care if it is piss and
Did you
rain.
see the NRLW on the weekend?
Oh, mate.
Holy
I watched
At
one of
the
the.
Armadale Aquatic Centre, they might as well have played. It might as well have been water polo.
I watched the quick highlight of the Dragons.
Yeah, that was
they
the
were
one.
playing.
Yeah.
And the blonde-haired girl went over for the try. Looked like one of those speedboats going through the river. There was fucking water everywhere. Oh.
Very good. All right, let's move on to the second game of the round, boys. Friday night, 6 p.m, GIO Stadium. We've got the Raiders up against the Sharks. Boys, head-to-head, can't really split them. $1.95 if you do like the Raiders, $1.85 there for the Sharks. Now, I will just say we do record this a little bit early in the week, so the line market isn't up for this one as we record. Bit of issues down in the capital there again, boys. I don't know if you heard Ryan Sutton. He's going to be playing for the Bulldogs from next year for the next 3 years. That signing was going to get announced today, if not tomorrow. It just seems to be history repeating itself. Groundhog Day down there. His girlfriend's come out and sort of blasted the coach because he's been dropped this week. Bit like the old who did that last year? Tarpany's missus. Exactly the same thing. So he's been dropped this week. Whether it coincides with him signing for the Dogs, only Ricky will know, but his missus has come out on social media, put a photo of the team list and with a little laughing emoji.
Yeah. That stuff, that's childish. That stuff happens in Armadale reserve grade football. You're a professional athlete and you're paid to be a professional athlete. For whatever reason, why is he might not have any say in it. I could be wrong. But if she is, when I'm going home after training, I'm going to say, mate, if I'm going to get game time, that shit ain't going to fucking help.
Yeah. If she wants to get involved, she should go and play for the women's side.
Yeah, 100%.
I heard it today,
and
it just seemed, I just like deja vu. Like this happened last year, exact same thing, and not a great start to the season. Obviously, Jamal Fogarty out for until about round 15, I think. Ches,
mate, Fogarty, 15, mate. He's out as well.
That was a massive blow for him.
It is. It'd be interesting to see what they got with this new fellow that's playing for him. The young fellow, I can't remember his name. I was watching it last night and slipped my mind.
Schneider. Schneider.
They reckon he's got a bit of a different ball playing style. It's a bit almost like a Sammy Walker sort of a style. Okay. I heard today. It'd be interesting to see him and see how he goes. Obviously, Jordan Rapana's out for a couple of weeks as well. Missing Harley Smith-Shields as well for the season. Sebastian Chris is out. And the Peter Holler's out with a knee injury as well. So what they really need to do is just put a curtain over last year, forget about George Williams, forget about all that stuff. Ricky's always going to blow up. I think that's just set in stone now.
100%.
He's always going to be like that cranky sort of a man. They need to start the season fresh if they want to have a chance.
Yeah,
Jared, I think they definitely have the side to do damage to these sort of top four sort of set in stone ranked teams like your Melbourne Panthers, Roosters, Manly. On their day, they can beat them. It's just, I think they just got to, and this stuff isn't going to help.
No, not
sending
at
messages and doing stupid shit like that.
Jared Croker, boys, starting the season in reserve grade 2, coming off that knee. I think he had some stem cell stuff. So hopefully it's just a bit of match fitness and can get him back on the park. Love to see him go around. Boys, I will just, bit of a disclaimer here. When we picked our top 8 last week, I had the Raiders in. I picked that before Fogarty went out with the knee injury.
Oh, here we go.
The bet's already on, so I'm going to stick with it. But I can tell you, round 25, I'll be coming back to round 1 episode and I'll be replaying this audio. Boys, again, this is my multi, so to kick off the Friday night, I've got Sharks head-to-head. I think they'll be too good. I've got 3 anytime try scorers after that. Will Kennedy, Jesse Ramian and Semi Avalami for the Raiders. I think that one there is paying $24.03. So a bit of value there. So hopefully that one can come off as well.
I think it should go very close.
Yeah, not bad. I think Sharks head-to-heads. Yeah,
I'll be taking the Sharks. Well, I've already done my tips on the Sarvi. I'm taking the Sharks. They're going to be interesting to see how they play for this year. Like I mentioned to Christian earlier, under Fitzy. Be interesting to see what the boys do there.
Yep,
could be one of those smokies. I think
could be. Broncos versus Rabbits, boys. The second game of Friday night, 8:05 p.m. up there at Suncorp Stadium. Hopefully all the water's drained from a week or two ago. Boys, the Broncos, $3.65 outsiders. We got the Rabbitohs, $1.29 favourite. Obviously, no Adam Reynolds has blown that out. If you like the line, $1.90, 10.5 for the Broncos and minus 10.5 for the Rabbitohs, also $1.90. Kurt Capewell's been named captain for his first club game for the for the Broncos. I think that's a good appointment.
Yeah,
the only
100%.
other person I probably would have put in there was the old toe sucker Staggy boy. But I think Kurt Capewell was a good choice in Adam Reynolds' absence. How do you see the Broncos season playing out, boys? Obviously, Reynolds been out for the first game, maybe one or two, depending on that leg injury that he's sustained in the off season. How do you see their season starting? And what do you think will happen if they lose 3 to start?
I had a quick look today. I think they've put Walters in with Albert Kelly in the halves. They haven't put Tyson Gamble in there. I don't know whether that's the right call to make.
Dad's favouritism.
I was just about to say, is this a little family feud selection, or is it? I don't know what's going to happen there. Also missing Tessie Newey this week as well. Brendan Piakura and Kobe Hetherington. So got a few decent players out as well next to Reynolds. So they will be missing a few. I think my money's definitely on South. It's just the margin this week.
Yeah, do you like them 13 plus, or you reckon it's going to be a little bit tighter?
That's what I can't decide. So I just had to have. If I was going to have a bet, it'd just be a head-to-head for this week.
Okay.
Just to see how the new South outfit goes without Reynolds and how the new Broncos squad perform as well.
Broncos are one of those sort of sides, the way I see it, that when they play at home, they tend to, not that they go up a great notch, but they do tend to turn the dial just that little bit, particularly if they can fill the stadium. The way I see it, if it was me, I'd be almost tempted to leave Capewell as the captain for the season and just take the onus off Adam Reynolds and just say, mate, just go out there and play your best football. And, no onus on yourself and whatever else. That way he's not not feeling the pressure. Having said that, the captaincy can probably take him to another level. But
yeah, I think he enjoys that captaincy. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But I think this weekend, this will be a good test for the Broncos to see where they are for the start of the season. And this will be a good test for the Rabbits to see where they are for the start of the season.
Only person out for the South is Mitchell too.
Latrell's out, he's really the only one. I've got a bit bigger cojones than you, Ches. I've gone South 13 plus. AJ anytime, Cody Walker anytime, and South to be the first team to score. So all South in my multi, 4-legger there. That one's paying $5.97. So little conservative there, but I can see that all coming off. So
should be good. And realistically, that multi being all South, the market explains that as well, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we're cracking through this, which is fantastic. Super Saturday, can't wait for Saturday. Love 3 games on a Saturday afternoon/evening. Kicking us off Saturday 3 p.m. at the SCG. Great oval as well is the Roosters versus the Knights. Roosters are $1.20 favourite. Knights $4.60 outsiders, as we just mentioned with Tristan. We don't think they're going to go too well this year. Also news their big meter eater Saifiti's out as well after that little another hip drop. Boys, if you like them at the line, Roosters are paying $1.85 at minus 13.5 and plus 13.5 for the Knights, and that one's $1.95. Ches, I'll throw to you, seeing they're your team. How do you see this game playing out? The Roosters going to dominate as we all think.
Mate, is there a market for 30 plus?
There probably would be. I'm sure there would be. There's 1,000 markers over at TopSport.
Mate, yeah, Knights are missing a few. So Saifiti, Suaso Sue, Bally Hodgson, Heimel Hunt, Jaden Brayley, Edric Lee.
They're also missing Mitch Pearce.
And I was going to say,
that's massive.
But their biggest person they're missing who's no longer around is Mitchell Pearce.
Yeah.
Like we quickly mentioned before with Tristan, with Kalen Ponga, he's going to be under the pump this week. Absolutely under the pump. He'll have his ring twitching. He'll be sweating. Chooks Sawali's out. So he got taken off the wing. So they've moved Momorowski to the wing, and young Billy Smith will be playing centres.
Okay.
Adam Kieran's, I don't think he might be on the bench.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
not sure.
Is he in the extended squad, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually going to play this week. Mate, the boys are going to come out red hot, firing, looking for that title for this year. I'll just borrow that sheet, mate. I forgot me bets.
Bloody amateurs.
Rookies.
Mate, my bet for this game is Joey Manu, anytime try scorer. Roosters to score the first try, and Roosters to win the line betting at 13.5. So they have to win by at least 14 points. That's paying $4.52. Now, with our bets for these all our wins are going to our charities. So I'm a bit more conservative this year with a few of these bets. Or I should say most of them. There will be a few big ones later on during the year. But just for now, I'm just going to keep them,
Fantastic. All right, that's the first 4 games. We might just take a quick little rehydration break, and we'll be back to cover off the other 4 straight after this little break.
You can't beat Top Sport's best of the best multis. Top odds are guaranteed during any Saturday Metro meeting. Plus, there's best of the best to win up to $5,000 on Saturday Metro too. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Gamble responsibly.
All right, thanks for sticking around. We've got 4 other games to jump into. Just before we do, we will let you know our charities. I forgot to mention at the top of the games. Mine this year, for the footy season, boys, I'm going to go Mark Hughes Foundation. We're going to get into the swing of things come winter here in Armidale. She's a bit chilly, so it'd be good to get those beanies on as well. Does some great work there for the brain cancer. So that's mine, boys, Mark Hughes Foundation.
I'm going to go the Westpac Rescue Helicopter. That's a little one that's a little bit different, but we live in a rural area. And for those who don't realise it, it actually does a fair bit of work. For example, during some floods not that long ago, there was a rapid flood that happened. Was it Dangar Gorge, I think it was, and a couple of gentlemen got caught on a rock, and the Westpac Rescue Helicopter had to come in, winch them out. All general stuff. A lot of farmers and stuff end up in a bit of strife, and because they're out in the middle of nowhere, up around here, it's good to have that sort of service where they can fly in. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't know much about it, but them helicopters aren't cheap to run, so all the more the better.
Great cause. Ches?
Oh, yeah, mine's the Kids Cancer Project. You jump onto their website there, you can just do donations. Another section on there, you can buy these little teddy bear things. If you look at the price of them, it's not for the bear. That money does go back to the charities, and the bears actually go to the kids as well.
Yeah, right.
That are sick, so, yeah.
Great. As I mentioned, our last 3 charities end up with about $700 in the kitty each, which is fantastic. Thanks to TopSport. We're hoping to... at least match that, if not double that, for the footy season. So got plenty of bets coming our way during the season. Let's jump into the next game, boys. 5 p.m. Saturday, we've got the Warriors versus the Dragons. This one's up at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Be nice and warm up there. The Warriors, $1.93, and the Dragons are a favourite there at $1.87. Again, similar to the Raiders Sharks, there wasn't a line market up at our time of recording, so I can't give you that just at the moment. 2 of the mid of the range teams, boys. How do you see it playing out? Who do you think will get the victory? Any luck for the Warriors there?
I think Warriors are so hard. Mate, they can beat Melbourne, they'll beat Penrith, but they'll lose the Wests next week.
Yeah.
And realistically, as I do like what Tristo said about St George. They've done some recruiting in some of the right areas, but I still feel that they're just a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic.
IQ level or just
well, actually they can't be because they've gotten rid of the barbecue instigate anyway. But yeah, I think they'll just be short this year, and unfortunately for them, I can't see both sides making the 8 as we tipped previous episode.
I believe Tarek Sim's been rested this week. I think he's had a bit of a disruptive off season, and Tom Burgess also not making the run on side either. So
did I read something about an ankle tweak
for Sims?
For Tarek Sims?
Yeah, I think he's had
more of a complaint.
Yeah. I think I don't think he's been dropped by any means. Just sort of resting him. It's a long season. No point risking him for game 1.
You don't win the comp in round 1,
as they always say.
Mate, I'm leaning towards the Dragons for this game. Now, I really wanted to see the Warriors come off strong. They've had a bit of a tough year last year. A lot of families and stuff had to sort of relocate 4 or 5 times. Their kids had to change schools with those moves and everything. Really good to see them come through and have a good year. They've got Matt Lodge, Reece Walsh and Tohu Harris out this week as well. That's going to hurt him a little bit. Now, I think Aitken in the back row there for the Warriors, he's going to have a pretty good year in my eyes. Another player there for the Warriors, Ali Katoa. Now, he's used to rugby union, so we'll see how he plays as well, and if it takes him a little while to adjust or if he just sort of slots straight in. So I'm going to just lean slightly towards the Dragons for this one, and it might be a very close game, I think. And I wouldn't like to put any money on sort of lines or margins.
I'm going to say the market
says it, yeah.
It could be one of those games where it comes down to a penalty goal or, a field goal finish perhaps. Mate, my bet for this one, I've kept it nice and simple again. 3 anytime try scorers. The big man on the outside, Ravalawa, Harris Tavita and Moses Sully. Now, those three players, $18.21.
I actually read something on Moses Sully. They reckon this is the best football Moses Sully's played in a long time at St George's, just like it's a better atmosphere. Not saying it's a better atmosphere, but he's got a lot more freedom. And by the sounds, they're going to plan to get him some early ball, so I think he'll thrive off that.
Fantastic. All right, next game, boys. I've got to look at my notes, which Ches has stolen, but we've got the Tigers up against the Storm. This one's about 7:45 on Saturday, being played at Combank Stadium out there at Parramatta. Again, hopefully the drainage is up to scratch there. I'm sure it would be brand new stadium. Ches, you want to read out the head-to-head odds in the line market there for me? My eyes aren't that good.
I need my glasses, mate. Head-to-head markets, we have Tigers at $4 neat and Storm at $1.25. I think we always talk about Storm with their depth and everything. I think this is a week they're going to show how well their depth can perform. I know it's only against the Tigers, but it is the first game. They're missing Jesse Bromwich, Harry Grant, Chris Lewis, Cameron Munster, and Tom Eisenhuth as well. So they're missing, and Kami Kamika, he's out as well. So
Kamitha, yeah.
That's him, Kama Chameleon. So they're going to have to really step up the people that are filling in for those positions. I still think it's going to be an absolute bath, as you say. It's going to be an absolute slaughter. There's one of the games where I like to put, the 19 plus bets, 13 plus, 19 plus on, have about 4 or 5 try scorers just for Melbourne.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens on Saturday night.
Boys, Melbourne haven't lost a round one game since 2001.
Can't see that
Can't
changing.
see getting beat. No.
No, I think
Even with Munster out.
Yeah, well, I think unless the drainage isn't up to scratch, the field's not the only thing that's going to be well underwater. I think they'll get pumped.
Now, with that stat there, just quickly, Manly, I think they have a terrible first round. So they've won 4 out of the last 15, 16 years first round 1 games.
Yeah.
They might get to 5 this week if the Panthers don't perform. Back onto this one again. You boys have anything else to say about that one?
Actually, I've got a query. That it'd be interesting to see out of Melbourne, all of Melbourne's first round wins, who they've actually played.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of research for you for next week, mate.
Yeah, leave it with me.
You might get that round 12, I reckon. What do you got, mate?
Just like my text message replies and all that sort of
horrible, hopeless. Anyway,
nice and conservative again.
Again.
Storm 13 plus. Storm to win the first half, so they have to lead at half time. And the cheese, Brendan Smith, anytime try scorer, $4.56.
He does love a little sneaky try from dummy half the cheese. So
Yeah,
It's hard to stop, isn't he? He gets that little sort of tunnel and burrow action in there, and he
It's like rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
The cheese rolling down the hill.
the big Parmesan wheel. I'm going to give you your sheet back, mate.
Pass me notes back so I can see what's happening for the next game. All right, Super Saturday is done and dusted. We'll jump right now into a Sunday game. Now, there's just 2 games on the Sunday. The first one's kicking off at 4 p.m, and that is the Eels up against the Titans. This one is also at Combank, so it might get a bit chopped up if due to the game the night before. Eels, $1.46 favourite. Titans, $2.70 outsiders. The line, $1.85, -6.5 for the Eels, and +6.5 for the Titans at $1.95. Berto, straight to you. Your team, you're backing the Eels this year. Are you backing them to win this game?
Yeah, I think we'll win the game. I've got a bet alcohol currency again with a good mate of mine, Dan. But I said we'll have a carton on the game.
Friend of the show, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. He's a good listener, and he'll be listening, no doubt. We spoke about this down at headquarters, a couple of numerous weeks ago. And I said, are we going to have a carton on the game? He said, no, we won't have a carton. We'll just have a 6-pack because you'll pump us. I don't know. This is the sort of game that can go either way. I think the only thing that'll help us here is it's at Parramatta and the Titans, but realistically, the Titans have got a lot to play for. And their side, they've recruited well. For example, I think that one of their best signings they've got this year is Will Smith to come off the bench, and he'll be an ex-Para player, mate. He will be chewing at the bit to get at us.
Yep. Para always start strong, mate. Start the season first 5 or 6 rounds. So I think that's going to continue, and I think they'll get the victory there on Sunday. Sorry.
Actually, last night there when I got home from work, I chucked the old squawk box on. I was listening to my old mate, Mr. 25-year plan, Gus Gould, and he actually thinks that Parramatta can win this year.
Oh, don't say that.
That's what he said.
Laurie Daly's already put the mocker on us.
I like what you said. This is their year. He said
Yeah.
this will be their year, and he said they can definitely do it.
Well, this is our last hurrah. Not that we'll go into a rebuilding phase, because realistically, professional clubs, in my eyes, shouldn't have a rebuilding phase. If it gets to that point, then some people need kicking in the ass, tapped on the shoulder, and told to pack their office and leave. But
Sounds like a usual Sunday morning for you, doesn't it?
Yes.
But they missed out.
Yes.
They missed out by that penalty conversion last year, didn't they, to make the final? So
You want me to cry on TV? Or?
I'm just saying, look, but that's how close they were last year.
So
2 points. So.
And numerous years before, I remember we just seemed to draw Melbourne, and we beat Melbourne all year during the year, and when the time comes, Melbourne seemed to just pip us at the post. So
They were actually only side last year to out Melbourne, weren't they?
yeah, which was
Played all over them.
yeah, twice, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
What's your moulding, mate? This one's yours. So what do you got?
yeah, so I'm going to stay away from a margin, but I am going to go Parramatta head to head. I'm going to go the points over 47.5. I think that's only safe. It's 36-18 or something like that. We could be knocking on the door. Gutho anytime, and Fafita anytime. He'll be a weasel running out against our wingers in our centres, not taking it up the guts. So that's $12.16.
Yeah, good odds there. I like that bet. Not bad at all. Last game to round out the round, boys. We've got the Cowboys up against the Dogs. 6:25 Sunday afternoon. Queensland Country Bank Stadium up there in Townsville. It'll be well hot as well. Boys, Cowboys favourite, $1.85 head-to-head, $1.95 for the Doggies. And the line, $1.90 -1 for the Cows, or +1, $1.90 for the Dogs. So they got a 1 point start there. Not much in them, can't split them. $1.85, $1.95 head to head. I'll throw to you, J-Rod, seeing it's your game. We won't spend too much time on it. How do you see it playing out? And feed us your malts.
Yeah, won't be watching. Definitely won't be watching. But having said that, this is a game that could create a bit of excitement, because they'll throw the ball around.
It'll be interesting to see how
And
the
it
Dogs
should
go.
be a dry track.
Yeah. The Cowboys were pretty good in that trial we watched, Ches, against the Broncos. I know it's a trial and you can't take too much stock out of that. I was quite impressed with them.
I only seen the first half. The old Tui's flu got me. I had to go to bed. But they did, mate. That was probably, from what we've seen, more of an entertaining game than the Charity Shield.
Oh, 100% it was. Yeah, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I'll be watching just to see how the Dogs go, how those combinations go. The Fox, Burton, all the new players there as well. That's the reason I'll be watching. Throw to your malt, mate, because we're running out of time for this little segment.
We'll get this one over and done with. Dogs, I'm going to take the line. No way am I going to pick someone head-to-head. I'm going to go the Dogs, the line, so they're going to have a one start. Dufty anytime and Addo Carr anytime, $5.92.
Yeah, not bad odds.
Our mate's out too with a knee injury, Matt Dury.
Matt Dury.
Yeah.
We put the mocker on too. I looked at the team list in the Parramatta game. I forgot to mention it earlier too, that Kevin Proctor's been dropped to the bench. Thanks for coming. Yeah,
right.
Where he belongs.
All right, that wraps up the 8 games. Regular listeners will know last year we used to put on a Sure Thing and a Hail Mary. We've just changed it up a little bit just to keep things fresh as well. And what we're going to do for this week, we've each picked a leg. It could be anything, an anytime try scorer, points over, a 13 plus, whatever it might be. And we're going to combine that and we're going to put the rest of our charity bet money on that. So we'll call that I don't know if we call it a Sure Thing or probably more a Hail Mary, boys. What do you reckon?
Both.
Hail.
The Sure Hail
thing.
No, we shouldn't say that.
Might call it the collective cashback.
Oh, I
How's
like
that
it.
sound?
That's what the graphic's going to be. Ches, run us through what your leg is, mate.
Mate, I said the other week, Cody Walker's going to have a good year stepping up. I've got him for any time try scorer.
Berto, what's your leg?
Yeah, so I think we spoke about it as well, Ches, how strong Justice, we'll call him, Justice Oldham, how strong he is. And luckily enough, Xavier Coates will find himself on the outside of Justice Oldham, and I think he'll get over any time.
Looking for those high balls too.
Yeah, 100, yeah, absolutely.
Xavier Coates, $9 top try scorer. That's a good price too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Boys, and I'm going Roosters 13 plus against the Knights there. So combine those three together, $6.53 over at TopSport. Make sure you join. Use the code SGM Podcast. So some great odds. We're going to have the rest of the money there, boys. $30 on that. So hopefully there's some bets there. You can find some value in amongst it. Put it on all of our bets if you want. The more you bet, the bigger you bet, the bigger your return. Is that what it is? Gamble responsibly.
Responsibly, hey, mate.
We'll take one last break. We'll come back with 21 done. There's a good one sticking around, coming up, so make sure you stick around. And we'll see you straight after this break.
Introducing TopSport's Best of the Best multi. Get top odds on every leg, every time. Don't be one of these. Just bet and forget with Bob Multi. TopSport. Feel the excitement.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Alrighty, we're back, 21 and done. A bit of NRL trivia for those of you that are new at the show. I pit the boys against each other. Bit of fun, bit of controversy, always a bit of controversy. Whinger. Boys, make sure you check our buzzers.
Birdman.
Jez.
All right. A few easy ones, as always, start us off. Which two teams play in the fifth game of this year's opening round?
Ches. Warriors. Down for them too. Warriors Dragons.
Yes, Warriors Dragons. Cheers gets the first points. I like it. I'll do that there. All right, listen carefully. This one. How many times has Payne Haas won the Dally M Rookie of the Year?
Birdman. One.
Guns, yes.
Yeah, because he can only win it once.
Yes, exactly right. 2019, that was.
That's a trick question.
It is. I got you too. Recently retired Brett Morris played for how many clubs?
Brett.
Ches. I'm going to stab and say 3.
Birdman. 2. No.
4.
4's correct. Do you know who they are? No extra points.
Dogs, Roosters, Dragons, and that was why I had to stab at 3.
Sharks.
No, there was a 4.
Sharks
Sharks.
as well.
Two.
Yeah, so they played for St George 07 to 08, then the Dogs from 09 to 18. Had a little stint with the Sharks 19 to 20, and then Roosters 20 to 21. So he played 325 games all up. So, yeah. All right. Bit of a maths question. I'm bringing this back. Haven't had it for a while, so make sure you listen carefully because it does get a bit confusing. If the Panthers scored 2 tries and converted both, and Manly scored 3 tries and only converted 2 in the first half. In the second half, Manly scored a further 2 tries, converting none. Penrith kicked a field goal and scored 1 try and 2 penalty kicks in the second half. What is the total number of points scored?
What was that last bit about the try? The second last bit?
So the second last bit. So do you want me to read the whole thing again?
Yep.
If Penrith scored 2 tries and converted both, Manly scored 3 tries and converted 2. And in the second half, Manly scored a further 2 tries, converting none. Penrith kicked a field goal and scored 1 try and 2 penalty kicks. What is the total?
Ches,
number of
47.
Birdman, 49.
Bit lower. I added this up 5 times, so I'm pretty sure it's correct.
It must be 33.
Ches was closest, if that helps you.
I got 43 written down, then I changed it when I heard that other thing. I got lost. I don't know.
I've got 43, but
I've got 45, so anyone at home, dial in, let us know if it's different. I'm going to go no points on that one. That fair?
yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Who got the points for Brett Morris? Ches did, didn't
Ches.
he? Better give him those. He needs them. No points, nil points on that one. All right, bit of an audio plus a multiple choice question. So listen to this audio, and there'll be a question at the end of it.
Darren Lockout, he kicks. Slater's picked it up. Was he onside? Slater down the ground. He kicks again. He'll get there. He's over. Billy Slater. He has scored one of the great Origin tries. He will have a look at it. I thought he might have been in front of the kicker.
All right, the question is, in which year did Billy Slater score that memorable chip and chase try in Origin? Is it A, 2003, B, 2004, or C, 2005?
I'm going to say it's at ANZ, just going off the reaction of the crowd. Seems to be a lot of roaring, and I don't think it's positive. I'm going to have a stab. I'll say 05. Birdman, 05.
B, 04.
04 is correct. Ches gets those points. Who is the current coach of the West Tigers?
Birdman, Michael Maguire.
Michael Maguire is correct. I'll give you the points there. I'll ask that question again in 6 weeks and see if the answer's still the same or
Tim
not.
Sheens.
Which knee did Hayes Dunster rupture in the trials? Left, right, or middle?
Ches, right. I've done it again, haven't I?
Yeah,
You should have went opposite.
I was actually just about to buzz in because I remember I just pictured the replay. It's his left. Birdman left.
3 points apiece. Former South and Panthers fullback is Reece who?
Birdman. Wesser?
Reece Wesser, yes, I like it. Nice one, Birdo, with that. 3 in a row. He's on a bit of a roll, Chaz. You need to stem the bleeding. Who wore number 7 for the Blues in Game 3 last year?
Birdman. Mitchell Moses.
Mitchell Moses.
Yes, my boy.
5 plays 3. All right, another multiple choice. How many career goals did Daryl Halligan kick? A, 784.
It was a lot.
B, 818. Or C, 855.
Ches C.
855 is correct. Did you look at the answers there? Or?
That was a stab. I knew he had a fucking lot.
Yeah,
He used to slot them from everywhere.
Yeah, 855 is
Bit of
correct.
the old toe poke style too.
Yeah.
Who has Souths named as captain for 2022?
Ches Cody Walker.
Birdman. Damien Cook.
Ches Cam Murray.
Cam Murray is correct. 5 apiece. He's coming back. Name me 3 Warriors players that have been named for round 1 with a hyphenated surname.
Oh, fucking hell.
I won't make you spell them.
Birdman. DWZ. James Fisher.
No, he plays for Penrith.
Murdoch Masilla.
Murdoch Masilla, yep.
And the other forward. What's his name? Come from Manly.
Yep. Starts with Aden
Fanua Blake.
Yeah, I'll give you the points. There is also Harris Tavita and Pride Patterson Rabati, who I've never heard of, but he's there as well somewhere. Which former Broncos great played the 2000 grand final against the Roosters with a broken arm?
Just that question again.
Which former Broncos great played the 2000 grand final against the Roosters with a broken arm?
Birdman. Shane Webke.
Shane Webke's correct, yes.
He was a machine.
He was. Certainly was, Birdo. Who is the current NRL CEO?
Birdman. And Rabbitohs.
Yes. He's on another roll, Ches. You need to stem this. This one's for you as well. So we got 8 up against 5. All right. Another audio question. You have to finish this song.
Ches simply the best.
Keep going. Bit more.
Better than all the rest. Better than anyone I've ever met.
Oh, he gets some points. I like it.
Nailed it.
I can't see, mate. It sounds like a bag of cats getting dropped into the bath.
Who are the Tigers' 5 captains? You get a point for
Oh,
each.
far out. Birdman. Tamo's one of them.
Yes.
Adam Dewey.
Yes. You can buzz in, Ches, if you want.
Big Luscious. Is he on there?
No, he's not there.
Brooks?
Luke Brooks, you got 3. Come on, Ches, get some points here. 2 more.
Yeah.
2 recently signed players. 1 mid-season last year or towards the back end of last year, and 1 only starting this year.
It's the Tigers, mate.
Yeah.
I can picture the all 5 of them standing together, but I can't. Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. Fruit. Think of a fruit.
Orange.
A seeded fruit.
Daly Cherry Evans.
Viewers at home are just shaking their heads.
Fruit.
Yeah, something you'd eat. Nice, juicy
Mango.
peach.
Oh, peachy.
Peachy? Fucking hell.
Mate, you say, oh, think of a fruit, go, oh, fuck, I can see myself walking through the Coles.
Oh, fuck it, you had banana on your mind, I can guarantee you that. And there's one more, Ken Mamalo.
Yeah, right.
Points. He picked up 4 points there, Ches, so he's gotten away on you, unfortunately. Who is leading the NRLW?
Ches Dragons.
Ooh. That was
Close.
That was my guess as well.
Who's the only team to have won the NRLW competition?
Birdman. Broncos.
Broncos. Same points on the ladder as the Dragons, but Broncos are ahead in 4 and against. So Bertman gets those points as well. Quick score check. We've got 13 up against 6. When was the last time Storm got beaten in round 1?
Oh, we just said that.
Yes, we did. Hopefully you were paying attention. Obviously not.
Ches 2000.
02.
01.
Oh, no! 01. 01 is correct. It was against the Dogs and they got whipped 14-0, believe it or not. Whose name is longer, Xavier Coates or Jerome Hughes?
Oh, this is going to be like, there's like one or two letters in this. But, man, I'm going to say Xavier Coates.
Ches Hughes.
Hughes, because it's spelt with a H. Jahrom. Ches gets the points. So Hughes is 13 characters and Coates is 12. Ches gets those. 2 more questions to go. Having played 68 games for the Raiders from 97 to 02 and with the nickname The Volcano, is former winger Leslie who? One for the guru out there. You'll know this.
All I can think of is The Hangover. There's a dude on there called Leslie, isn't there?
Go on. Leslie, nicknamed the Volcano. The surname similar to Volcano.
He's obviously a Raiders player.
Yeah, played for the Raiders. So, that would kind of indicate he's a Raiders player.
The
Volcano.
And he obviously played on the wing.
He's the winger, so that would suggest he played on the wing.
From the Raiders.
I don't know.
No idea.
Nah.
Leslie Vainicolo. They remember him? Look up his highlights. After you finish watching this, look up his highlights package. He is an absolute weapon. All right, no points again. Going in the last question, Ches, here's one for you. We've got 13 up against 8. How many points is
6.
the last question worth? 6 points. Thank you very much. All up to you, boys. I'm going to give you a question. You can give me the answer. I'm going to give you a bracket, so it's all on your own shoulders as to who wins or not. How many total points were scored in round 1 last year? Your bracket is between 280 and 360. Nearest 2 wins, nearest 2 gets the victory. What do you got, Ches?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2,
The
1.
old countdown.
337.
337. The amount is 323.
Oh, it's just
Snuck in.
Ches just snuck in. Nearly got it exactly right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14, 13. Go figure.
Long time between drinks too. I
tell you. So the
Robbery
Cowboys contributed 0. They got whipped by the Panthers 44-0 or 36-0 or something. So, Ches, how's it feel, mate? How's the victory?
This is how the signs for the season are going to look with these charity bet wins, hopefully.
Well, you basically started the season out like Manly did last year. You lost 4 in a row.
Yep.
Turbo's come back, or you've 2 is old, back in, and now you hit some form, mate. Hit your straps.
Back on the good drink. We'll touch on that in a second too with the next segment. But
Bit disappointed there, mate. I can see a bit teary-eyed.
Yeah, I
Had the victory speech ready.
My eyes hurting, but I feel like
Got a concession speech.
yeah. How do I say it? When you know you won but you've lost.
robbery.
Yeah, sad loser, I think is probably what I'd probably call it. So
It's like me beating Usain Bolt in my car and claiming the gold medal. Saying, mate, I was quicker than you.
Mate, Eddie Guerrero was a master at those things. That's what it was like, wasn't it?
Yeah.
fantastic. All right, that's Manscaped trivia done and dusted. If you haven't already, head on over to manscaped.com, use the code SGM, get yourself some fabulous products. There's some great smelling stuff there, boys.
Body
And also-
wash.
Hey,
Oh,
you know, we've gone on with it last week. Look, it does smell sensational. Had a beer after work last week. Raced home, had a shower, went back down so I could have a beer, didn't have to worry about driving.
Oh, back on the circuit.
Put the Manscaped stuff on. I said to my mate, I said, smell this. He just come off COVID. He doesn't have any smell. I said, trust me, it is good.
Yeah, 100%.
One of the bar girls smelled it and she said it was really nice. So
Yeah,
there
right.
you go. Yeah.
Out on the circuit. Smelling good.
All right, boys, let's jump right now into Beer of the Week. Thanks to the Whitebull Hotel, as always, great sponsors of the show. They fixed you up with something good last week, boys. I didn't even have enough room on the graphics to put your score up, Birdo. So hopefully it's just as good this week. What have you landed with and how does it taste?
Now, because of these transport issues and shit with the stupid COVID, haven't been able to get much 2 years old in the regional areas because they only stocked so many items through Line 8 and 2s. But it's back. 2 years old. Back in the bottle shops, which is great. These things go down like an absolute treat. Love them in a schooner. Love them in a stubby. Love them in a longie. Upside down. Sideways. Anyway, these... don't tempt me. These beers, you need to increase that screen length because it's a 5 straight away. Probably a 10 out of 5 nearly.
Mate, if there's any length I can increase, it ain't going to be the screen. Let me tell you.
When you go away, like if you go away for a fishing holiday or something down the coast and that, if you go in like the bolo or the service and stuff for a beer.
Catching the boat all the time.
If you see the older dudes in there drinking the 2 years old, drink it off tap. If it's used regularly, it's probably one of the best beers going, I would say. If it doesn't get used too often, it does get a bit of a sour taste. So if you do go somewhere and it doesn't quite taste right, go somewhere else and get it because they obviously haven't been using enough.
Or just drink more of it.
It sits there. So tell them to flush the lines out, put some more back on, and double bank the kegs because they will go down like a treat.
Bert, I know it's one of your favourites. You had a bit of a go at it on Saturday, I hear, as well.
Yeah, I had a couple of... hence the reason why they call them the loudmouth soups. Run into a bit of strife. No, it was good. I stepped into a couple, and they went down a gift. I tell you that much. 5.5.
5.5 again.
5 out of 5 because it is absolutely delicious, and it's half a point because it's a twist off.
Tell you what, that little stubby opener that you got off Hawk, you haven't even used it yet. So
no, I haven't.
It's all been twist top since. So thanks to the Whitebull Hotel for providing the refreshments. Absolutely. It's a bit well warm today too, so they're going down pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Boys, that just wraps up our first episode, round 1. Cannot wait. Going to be some great contests, some great games, and also some great betting to be had. Get on over to topsport.com.au, download the app, sign up using the code SGM Podcast. If you're heading on down to the pub, make sure you check out the Manscaped products as well. Get yourself some of those, and you're probably likely to come home with a maxi taxi full of broads. Anything else, boys, before you want to say before we wrap it up? Just one.
I got in nice and early today, unlike some weeks. Don't forget to put your tips in. What are your tips?
Solid advice there from Ches. He's always come through with the goods. And
I have a black belt in forgetting tips. I don't know what it is. It's hopeless.
Sensei.
Yeah. I'm pumped. I'm roaring. Ready to go. And I tell you what, apart from the Bulldogs game, I reckon I'll have a fair stint at watching almost every game this weekend. I am pumped.
Me too. Until next week, stick around because we've got plenty more coming at you. Enjoy the footy, and as always, gamble responsibly.